In a beautiful kingdom that flourished with prosperity and abundance, there was a special dough known as the royal dough. This dough was unlike any ordinary dough, as it was prepared with secret ingredients and was an ancient recipe passed down through generations only within the royal family. It was used to prepare special dishes served at grand royal occasions, and it had a magic that made anyone who tasted it feel immense happiness, as if they had been blessed. The secret of the dough lay in a special blend of rare herbs and flowers gathered from across the kingdom, and only the royal chef, entrusted by the king, knew this secret. The process of making the dough resembled a magical ritual, requiring a long time, effort, and precise accuracy. It began with roasting special grains, then grinding and mixing them with fine flour and floral leaves soaked in a wondrous extract, forming a dough with a unique flavor and a distinctive golden color. Over the years, the legend of this royal dough began to spread among the people. They shared stories about its magical power and how it granted health and strength to those who consumed it. Some even claimed it bestowed immortality on anyone who tasted it with a sincere heart. As these tales spread, many chefs in the kingdom tried to imitate the recipe, but all failed. One day, the young princess of the kingdom, Mira, decided to learn the secret of the dough herself. She was clever and curious, and didn't think it fair for the recipe to remain solely within the royal family. She sought a meeting with the royal chef and asked him to teach her the secret of the royal dough. But the elderly chef politely refused, explaining that the recipe was a trust he couldn't reveal even to members of the royal family, except in exceptional circumstances. Mira did not give up and decided to search on her own. She watched the royal chef every time he prepared the dough, attempting to understand his steps and observe his ingredients. She noticed the movement of his hands, his care for the perfect weight of each component, and the focus he put into every step. Over the days, she gathered some secrets, but knew something was missing, that magical element that made the dough so wonderful. One night, after the royal chef left the kitchen, Mira cautiously entered and tried to make the dough herself. She mixed the ingredients she could remember, following everything she'd seen, but in the end, she did not achieve the expected result. The dough was not soft enough and lacked the distinctive aroma, leaving her disappointed. The next day, the royal chef noticed the princess's sorrow and asked her why she was upset. Mira did not hide her failed attempt from him and admitted she was trying to learn the secret of the royal dough. The chef smiled gently and realized the princess was not driven by curiosity alone. She wanted to share this blessing with everyone in the kingdom. In a small, beautiful village nestled among the green mountains, there lived a young man named Khaled. Khaled was a handsome young man with a special charm and charisma that made him beloved by everyone. He helped people and presented himself as the perfect young man, but no one knew a secret hidden about his dark life. Khaled was a skilled thief who stole quietly and precisely, without ever being discovered. For years, he practiced theft, seizing opportunities with care, and conducting his heists under the cover of darkness. He was smart, leaving no trace behind. Khaled planned each theft as if it were a work of art. He did not steal out of greed, but found pleasure and challenge in it. One day, Khaled heard a wealthy family living in the village was preparing for their only daughter, Layla's wedding. Layla was one of the most beautiful and innocent girls in the village. Her parents had prepared a lavish dowry and extravagant jewelry to gift her on the wedding night. Khaled thought of this night as an unmissable opportunity and decided to seize all the jewelry and gold that night. But things didn't go as planned. On the day of the wedding, amid the village festivities, Khaled saw Layla for the first time and was struck by her beauty and sweet smile. He felt something different, as though he fell in love with her at first sight. It was a strange situation for him. He, who had never known love before or expected his heart to change so easily. Khaled tried to ignore this feeling and convinced himself he should execute his plan, for the gold and jewelry awaited him. But when night fell and silence prevailed, he reached the bride's room window where her family stored the jewels, and he felt a strange hesitation in his heart. He remembered her smile and bright eyes. How could he harm an innocent soul like Layla and ruin her happy night? Khaled stood there, unable to open the window. In the end, he surrendered to that feeling and decided to leave the village forever. The next day, the village awoke to find a letter from Khaled left at Layla's doorstep, apologizing for his past and confessing he planned to steal the jewels, but that Layla's love had changed his heart and led him to repent. Khaled left without anyone knowing his destination. The story of the thief groom remained a tale told through generations, a reminder that love can change hearts and every person may have a chance to start anew. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom surrounded by mountains and flowing rivers, there lived a young princess named Layla. Layla wasn't like other princesses. Her interest wasn't in precious jewels or fancy clothes, but in cooking and its arts. She spent long hours in the royal kitchen, learning the secrets of cooking from the grand chefs and creating dishes that no one in the kingdom had ever tasted before. Her mother, the queen, was not pleased with this passion, believing that cooking was not a princess's affair and that it was a job for the servants. But she couldn't suppress Layla's love for this art, as she saw the sparkle in her daughter's eyes every time she held a spoon or inhaled the spices' aromas in the air. One day, the king announced a grand contest in the kingdom, offering a great prize to whoever could create the best traditional dish that expressed the kingdom's identity and culture. What a surprise it was for everyone when they learned that Princess Layla had decided to enter the competition. On the morning of the contest, Layla donned her simple attire and headed to the contest arena. She closely watched the professional chefs, observing their moves and techniques, but she was not afraid, for she was confident in her skills. She had a special secret that no one else possessed: her deep knowledge of distinctive flavors and her profound love for the food she prepared. Layla began to prepare her dish, deciding to present a traditional meal the kingdom was known for, but with her unique touch. She carefully selected fresh ingredients and prepared a blend of spices that made everyone present feel a delightful aroma they hadn't experienced before. She added her personal touches lightly, balancing the flavors. When it was time for tasting, everyone awaited in anticipation. The judges tasted the contestants' dishes, each with its unique taste and features, but they all paused at Princess Layla's dish. The flavors harmonized in a magical way, to the point where one judge said, "This food isn't just a dish. It's an entire story about our kingdom, prepared with love and dedication."